Catgirl ding!
ただ気になる情報も。
最近無法都市への資金の流入が加速してる。
Telling us by merely showing us how large his group has grown already. I mean, there's a lot of people in this meeting. Did you know that I've started covering One Piece on this channel? It's basically a result of my patrons. We're looking at needing 100 more people to join up, hopefully hitting 450 plus people. That way, I don't ever have to worry about stopping the series. Check out my Patreon in the description for that and loads of other perks. 100% this amazing collective reaction to the smell comment said in innocence and prompted this.
いつもより赤い。あれではまるで伝説の。
I must say there's an impressive amount of dings just hanging around in this scene. Serious dingage.
所詮月が赤いだけの話。
Such an easy time to rely on CGI, but they don't even use it here? Very clearly hand-on effects instead.
彼女たちにかかればあっという間に伝説の赤き月の誕生だ。
The stark difference between his dark voice and his normal one never ceased to amaze me. Great voice acting work.
無法都市に君臨する3人の支配者の一人、血の女王のいる赤の塔だ。
The fact that All Might is still in this anime will never not be a win.
俺もかつては白い悪魔と呼ばれたことがあった。
Shockingly, Kazuma from Konosuba.
こんな感じがこうなってこうだ。そこまで。
Probably one of the coolest ways I've ever seen to give a recap, albeit one with giant questions for people randomly starting with this season, but still, it was great. Good CGI. Shockingly stunning and high quality looking city scenery shot. Awesome looking art style change that seems like it was ripped right out of the manga pages. I'll avoid directly showing All Might and the Golden Dude, but the guy in the white robe did a damn number on them, and somehow they're now sold as slaves. Shockingly, it was nasty and dark. Oh, you know I do be loving me these city scenery shots!
おっとごめんよ。
これぞ因果応報。
I can't see this and not think of The Darkness video game, where you had these extra limbs just like this. As though the whole city-wide shot isn't impressive enough already, we get given shots of it from every time of day too.
放っておけばどんどん増えていきそうだけど、どうしよう。
How calm he is during this situation is one of the many reasons I enjoy him so much as a main character.
君は？
私はメアリー。最古の吸血鬼狩りよ。
Eris from Jobless Reincarnation and way less known, the incredible Tama in the game AI The Somnium Files. Shout out to anyone who's played those two games and look up Tama. Thank me later.
暴走が始まる。
暴走が始まる。
時間がない。
時間がない。
At first I was like, why is he repeating everything she's saying? And then it hit me, he's so hyped with the lingo she's using and the phrases.
黒髪黒目の男の子を見なかった。
My exact reaction to this, oh, 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 I was so hyped. Now it's my time to be hyped. What a badass, denominated the vampire and casually questioned a dude about her brother. I love it. It's awesome that in this world there are so many different variations of buildings and clothing on display.
何？また喧嘩。人が不幸に浸ってる時に。
The anime really not worrying this episode about leaning into his darker side, not hiding anything for our benefit pointlessly. She's clearly had a rough time of it with a client, plus win number 20. It's dark.
死にたくなければ逃げろ。暴走が始まる。
暴走？
Then after the last win, we're gifted another denominated dude, which I can't show obviously, but I love his use of the phrases he loved hearing himself just now. He felt inspired.
バレたらただじゃ済まないよ。ありがとう、シャドウさん。
Jokes aside, it's nice that his actions have such large reactions on the world and its people. To him it was a small thing, a chance to be cool, do something good I suppose. But this was a nice result. Oh, before I forget, take another one here for going without an OP to give us a slightly longer episode too.
逃げたければ逃げなさい。運が良ければ浮かぶ瀬もありんしょ。
Mako from prison school. It's a subtle thing, but I love how you can see the waves moving in the background, just adding life to the panning shot.
地上からの侵入は難しいが方法はある。ついてきて。へえ。待ってなさい、シド。
The music suddenly sounding incredibly badass with that track. Very fitting for them both.
でけえ戦の匂いだ。こんなもん前の獣人どもの大進行以来か。
Mine's father from Ascendance of a Bookworm.
どうせ奴らだろう。おこがましくも我と対等だなどとさえずる愚か者ども。
The young version of Joseph Joestar.
大口開けて臭い息を撒き散らすのはやめなし。
獣くせえのはてめえだろうが。
Honestly, this is how you do moving battles where talking is taking place. Excellent looking angles after big shots have been exchanged and in running animations and whatnot. Looked awesome.
ただ影の実力者を目指すだけだ。我が名はシャドウ。
I love that he's still using basically a crowbar in one hand, but the main win here is for this epic, and I do mean epic looking entrance to their battle right there.
怪なた圧倒的な暴力に満ちた鋭い眼光。黒の塔の支配者暴君ジャガノート。
Equal bit too much internal body juices to risk showing the intro to this episode, but there's lots of gore and darkness, and I'm a fan personally. Chop them ghouls up!
形しても勝てない超大物じゃないか。なんでこんなところまで出張ってくるんだ。
Showing this battle raging from his perspective was actually pretty damn funny.
月が赤い。暴走が始まる。
Half the win is for the fact that he's kept on saying these cool lines consistently, but the other half is for how easily he took down the demon without even breaking stride. A very heavily Sid-focused OP that was, detailing the people in his life, his becoming the Shadow, and then his crew who joined him after that. Decent song, I liked it.
あれは吸血鬼ではないようだし、私たちに余計な戦いをしている暇はない。仲間もいる。
For some reason I really like it when his worlds collide, as it were, where his sister, who is really his sister actually I guess, meets his ladies. Worlds are colliding! Easy win here for the sheer depth and weight of the story's lore. Very few anime have such a fantastical series of extra characters and their backgrounds and groupings and more. It's nuts!
一つ教えて。悪魔つきを治す方法はあるの？メアリー。ちょっと。
Showing this is a good example of how the animation is exactly the same as the first season. It's so clean and fresh and just gorgeous looking in its everything.
吸血鬼は心臓を潰されると死ぬってな。にしても弱え。なあお前ら。血の女王はどこだ?
This dude is genuinely very cool. Nothing else to say on that.
気づかれないうちに。
See what I'm talking about?
なかなかタフじゃねえか。
To her absolute own cool-related credit, she was seemingly knocked out down below, and yet in an instant, got back up there silently and put a sword through his foot.
あなたの血を吸わせて。
This was an event which occurred during episode 2 of the Eminence and Shadow. Outstanding looking environmental effects there. Between the animated one and the effects via the debris and smoke, it looked amazing.
ごめんなさい。シド。
In all its simplicity of pure awesomeness, that's easily worth the first 2 max wins of the video and the season. So simple and yet, as stated, so damn awesome.
その頃血の女王エリザベート様は小さな国の領主として人間と共に暮らしている。
Really can't risk showing all that much, but it was great to see the darkness of 1,000 years ago where the vampires had the rule of the roost and how horrible it was until humans gained power. Have another here for the full story of her background and the queen and so on. Literally could show maybe 3 seconds if I wanted to edit around it. So much gory gore, it's crazy. It's nice to find out in this moment that his sister actually cares a great deal about him.
あなたの弟も必ず助け出すわ。それは私が華麗にこなすから、あなたは出しゃばらないでね。
Give a raise to whoever had the idea to abruptly cut off the nice, we're now friends type music there. Also take one here for continuing to show damage on the sister's face and not just erasing it all now the battle is over.
今回のボスは最強の吸血鬼って触れ込みだし、せっかくだしちょっと派手な登場シーンで始めようかな。
I know I said it before, but again, that contrast is so funny on display, like here. And again, huge kudos to the voice actor for being able to pull off the Batman type voice and then carefree teen.
愛しき御方よ、そして夫婦のちぎりを結ぶ。
Oh god. He's so overpowered. It's not even fair to the guy. So quick. Okay, so 2 wins here to end the episode. Firstly, it's for a great ED song. Just way too much skin to show that till the end, so take only the very start for your win. Secondly, it's for, again, just like the first season, showing multiple variations of the outro with different ladies.
クリムソンの気配も消えた。棺もない。ここで一体何が。
2 wins here to start the episode. Firstly, it doesn't often happen, but I enjoy realistic conversations where here both of them are talking about different things at the same time. Secondly, big plot twist win as his sister takes on some seriously nasty damage out of nowhere. These ladies are the height of awesome, and how about a hand from me for editing around that gory mess for YouTube? Genuinely just gorgeous looking effects right there, goodness me. So much smoothness in the frames, it must have taken forever to get it that smooth. This battle could have literally only gotten better with him choosing to enter the fray. What a voice actor on him too, perfect fit. That zooming out shot was a thing of cinematography beauty.
お前、問題ない。
It's good to see that in this world there are monsters out there capable of making these women seriously struggle in a battle. I'm waiting for the day it happens to Sid, but good to see it here with them.
いえ、私はまだ。あなたにはまだやるべきことがあるでしょ。
It's a weird personal win, I'll grant you, but I enjoy this style of animation where side on they're not kind of talking out the sides of their mouths. I like Bookworm, but they do it a lot in that one. I don't even know what's going on, but this creepy looking growth stuff is freaking me out. Take a win.
力を貸して。ふざけないで。なんだかさっぱりわからない。ここはどこであなたは誰？彼ってのも一体何なの？
His sister having a not very anime type reaction and instead behaving very realistically, I think, here.
ざっと1ヶ月ぶりの自由。最悪の魔女。ん？
My memories of season 1 are slightly foggy, but considering, I believe, she kind of faded away during a very sweet scene with Sid, it's pretty damn cool that she's back already in the story. Didn't see that coming.
あんね、オリジナルは私。これは。
I didn't think this would turn into such a cool ass battle so quickly after she joined it, but it really has. Oh my god, he's got some of the best entrances in anime to my mind. It's so badass every time.
覚醒の時は来た。覚醒の。
Not even a hint, not even a whiff of CGI, nothing.
まさかシャドウ様。
He's loving this, as we know, without ever being told, but it's very good to my mind all the same to witness him not failing to protect his people at the same time. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was he more upset about his shiny new gold coins being destroyed? I remember they did an amazing job of this very thing in the first season, and that's doing truly impactful feeling attacks, like each thump feels like it's hitting the screen.
紳士様
Emma Milstein from the Trails from Cold Steel games, plus Amory, the girl who loves Iruma in Iruma-kun, and so much more.
I am Recovery Atomic.
So insanely awesome that the writer allowed for such a badass move in the same vein as I Am Atomic to heal everyone in the same radius as that explosive attack. So cool! Good to see that these 6 made it through the night and the whole ordeal in the end, I gotta say.
どんな道へ進むとしても、僕は姉さんを応援するよ。
ありがとうシド
Genuinely a very unexpectedly sweet scene there.
一生クラスには全然足りない。でも、よく考えたらこれで十分かもしれない。
The way I understood this, let me know if you think I'm right, is that he's ultimately happy to have expended 5/6 of all the gold coins because he did so protecting people he cares about, and I like that. Showing that whole city shot because I was so impressed that they fully included the damage to the city. Back in the main city at night and it looks really good. Ding! She's ridiculous. I love her. Giving a win for purely reminding me of a great song from ReZero. It sounds very samey in a good way. By the way, take another personal win here for the win just doing its thing, not only kicking in when someone revealed a revelation or their undying love for someone or whatever.
オートでは普通にスーツとかを見かけていたから、そういう文化なのかと思ってたけど、これもアルファたちの仕業だったらしい。
It's interesting to see in an isekai the world he came from being basically recreated in this one, but with the added elements of things like magic and so on.
今日から僕はスーパーエリートエージェント。
Semi-rare moment of Sid just straight up living his new life. That's some legit kind of super styled comedy if you've ever seen it.
今の僕はスーパーエリートエージェント。
Well, it'd be silly not to give that a win, wouldn't it?
頼りにしてるぞ MHK！
シド君をかな
Exact same deal with that. Plus the art style change and the voices would have given that a win anyway.
三越銀行のトップは希代の詐欺師でありんしょ。一体どんなお人なんか。
紙幣の偽造、偽札で人儲けしようじゃないか。
Even though typically scenes like this aren't usually my jam, I can certainly appreciate the fact that the writer went in hard on the lore aspect and created this money situation out of thin air.
僕は組織を救うために組織を裏切るスーパーエリートエージェントなのだ。最高にかっこいい。
Being nice to Delta is always a win.
ボスキツネ臭い。
Delta piggyback ride.
ボスキツネ臭い。
Also though, so very much dingage during this scene. Front dings, back dings, you name it, it was dinging while there.
また失敗しただと。
Putting actual writing in the newspaper rather than just scribbles.
山賊崩れでは役に立たんか。ならば四つ葉を向かわせてやる。
Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter.
三つ星、存外しぶとい。教団が危険視するだけはあるか。
Good end to the episode, nicely setting up the next fairly big part of the story, it feels like.
アルファ様、ここは私にお任せください。
I don't know why, but for some reason I adore little interactions like this, sounding so cool, and then someone gets caught off guard with a huh? And replies, huh? Like, why miss? Why say?
あの子ももう17だし。
They did it again right afterwards! Oh, I do love that so much.
皆様を歓迎しますわ。
How come the entrances and starting attacks are always so damn cool in this anime though?
死にたくなければおとなしくおねんねしていろ。
When did this anime get so good at doing comedy as well?
こいつはただ早いだけのド素人だ。
You know what? I'm giving a rare 2max wins here for a comedy moment. I haven't laughed this hard since I covered Konosuba and a certain scene in Horimiya. Both voice actors did an amazing job here too to sell the comedy.
とりあえず
魔力をたくさん込めて叩き切る
I'm really happy that a character like her was added to their elite group. She's overly powerful but in a hilarious fashion. It's really nice to mix it up, I must admit. See what I mean? She is the perfect other side of the normally entirely badass coin that is their entire group, and I love it.
その男はリヒテンダワーの剣を極めたおそらく世界優先の達人よそれはすごい
Ah, you're so good with the voice actress there. She's perfect doing the little sniffs and whatnot. Absolutely perfection. That entire scene was the most funny in the entire series to date for me. Glad I gave 2max wins during it too. It deserved it.
チルドレンを用意できればよかったのだが教団も消耗が激しい大商会連合もただの捨て駒に過ぎん
It's clever to my mind to have integrated the cult in with this legit business and their shady practices. Keeps the cult from the first season very much at the forefront of our minds. Giving a win because I'm genuinely just very happy to see her again. Some people didn't like her in the first season, I was very much in the other camp. This moment serving as a little reminder of how the last season ended and some of the larger events likely to come into play in this season soon.
あなたがずっと気楽でいられることを願ってるわ
Not sure if I misread the scene or not, but that felt to me like a genuine statement from her. Hoping he can live a carefree life basically, and I do like that from her.
答えるまでもない比べれば片方の髪質がわずかに荒い
Can we give the voice actor massive props for basically doing 3 different kinds of voices for this role? The Shadow with a darker voice, casual voice of a student, and now John Smithor!
当然精度の悪い方が
本物でありんす
え
They've totally found a Winds vein and have now started to exploit it!
今は任務に集中しないとそうねってあんた今何か食べてたでしょ食べてません食べてた絶対食べてた
There's seriously such a great contrast between all of the women always on display, and that really does make for some very fun scenes like this one.
二人とも
Although it's early on into any potential battle, I must add that I'm liking this season how they're going up against seemingly stronger foes, much like at the tower at the start of the season.
さて切符を拝見させてもらおう
Okay, you know what? I could just delete the last win now I know it's him attacking them, but the point is still valid. But of course you now also get a very much deserved plot twist win.
知る必要はない
I honestly don't even care that it's him they're fighting. For some unknown reason, I just enjoy main characters actually having a tough time in a battle, I cannot lie.
なぜどうして弱い
It's been a while since we've seen a lot of her. Take one here for showing us some of her character arc again, exploring her feelings of being powerless.
例のものの捜索はゼータに任せていますが
I didn't even know what that background is of. Looks oddly futuristic to me, but I do know it looks sick.
ジョン・スミスにはデルタを当てるわそうですね
Oh yeah, now that's interesting. I do wonder whether or not she will be able to tell that it's actually him though. Two wins here. Firstly, I was so impressed with how they did her running through the snow and coming into focus during the attack. It looked bloody great. But secondly, it's all happening way quicker than I thought it would. I'm hyped. He's so overpowered. It's not even close, is it? The realistic looking effects on that damage to the carriage though. I've been hearing some excellent voice acting in recent videos, but this is almost on another level with this guttural scream. I had a feeling this was going to happen, but the payoff was way better than I thought it'd be.
何しろ世界のためだからね。
世界のため。
そうそう、世界のため。
There is the possibility that she might just be best girl. Just saying. Not only is the shot itself great, but the damage from his old attack still being more than visible to say the least.
お聞きになりましたか？大商会連合の。
二度目の喧嘩。運輸大臣も騎士団長も怒り狂っているわ。
I think it's great not only that they do different seasons in this world, but that the studio can do it so well animation-wise without skipping a beat.
学園の建て替えがまだ終わらないんで、専門書を探すなら城の書庫の方がいいかなって。
I mentioned it during the first season, but it gets another win here for, again, the realism behind the school being so badly damaged that they can't just go back to school. It takes time to get it back up and running.
偽札の噂はもはやオート中に広まりつつあります。王宮が思い越し。
Is my understanding correct in that he wants to look cool as this character and thus keeps the window open, the wind blowing through, but meanwhile he's absolutely freezing and isn't happy?
死亡したものと思われます。
いや、なんでも。
And they did the damn thing again. It's such a simple joke, but my god if it doesn't get me every time.
我が英知の一端をぶちたい
That. How many city scenery shots do you want to put into this season?
はじめまして、ジョン・スミス。そしてさようなら。
I'm not sure why, but watching him fight members of his own team is actually far more entertaining than I thought it'd be.
どうしてなぜあなたがシャドウ
Unexpected! I didn't think another one would be able to figure out it was him. Well played, you shocked me. Two wins here. First up is the effect during the battle itself looks great. Loving the slowed down moments too. Secondly, giving her an actual reason to fight him. In this case, wanting to prove her worth as a member of the team, basically. And that she won't drag him down.
霧は質量が軽い。
I swear, during serious battles, this anime has some of the greatest attack moves out there right now. Definitely in my top 5 of the year, hands down. I mean, that kick up and down looks amazing with heft. There's that heft I was talking about, and of course, the sound effects greatly aided in that too.
生き残りを求めて心を同じくする同盟部族との関係を強めようとするのも。
I appreciate getting to learn more of her and her background, since if I had to guess, I'd wager she's going to become more of a main character or at least side character in the future. Also take one here for how they changed the art style for one of the telling of an old Asian type story, that vibe to it.
ゲッタンに憧れていたワッチは喜んでそれを受け入れした。
Interesting way to make him more central to what's coming by linking his past with hers, I must say.
ゲッタン。
さあ、お前も教団に忠誠を誓い、力を受け入れるんだ。
Also interesting was finding out that the cult was operating all the way back then in much the same way too. The anime out here straight up looking like they're producing literal photos instead of animation here. Just a reminder here that you can support this channel and my work that I do entirely alone on my Patreon linked below, always after new members. Please consider checking it out if you enjoy what I do.
この状況はシャドウが作り出したもの。名を変え、私たちを切り捨て、教団よりも先んじてシャドウが偽札を流通させた。すべてシャドウ様が用意してくださいましたね。これが彼の見ていた景色。
Her depression prior to now definitely sells us on how much she loves Shadow. It's definitely not all about just being cast aside as not being powerful enough, but it's good to see her putting it together here. A surprisingly long not walking on the spot.
ジョン様、ジョン・スミス様。
大量の金庫。
雪目様と連絡がつきません。おそらく。
A couple of dings have entered the chat. The perfect way to use CGI.
さら俺から奪うためだけにその力を使うのか、雪目！
That right there is the reason why he's one of my favourite voice actors in the game right now.
あの時、お前も殺しておくべきだ。
Not sure how they did that, but it looked awesome.
雪目！
The studio continues to absolutely excel at doing great sounding sound effects during battles. Got so much oomph, or something like that. Oomph?
ダ
When you don't want to go silly on your budget for a smaller battle, this is a real good way of doing it. Looks like he's moving through the scene, but he's not. The scene's moving around him.
大切なもの情が深いお人でありんすね
Her very much getting the wrong end of the stick. I'm not showing that, but he busted up the face, bruh. Goodness me, that was intense. One of the first times I've seen a studio accurately portray what ice would look like after being busted up. That was pretty good. That's some beautiful music right there. Reminds me a lot of ReZero actually.
アンさんはあの時も
Pretty good that she's reminded that it was him who helped her so long ago and took Gaten's eyes. At least that's strongly suggested. That's correct, isn't it?
した
いやでも何でも言うこと聞くとは言ってのいや僕のできる範囲でね
聞くって言ったの
Delta continues to be hands down one of the best things about this entire anime in my eyes. Also, they're going without an ED this episode in order to allow for this very cute Delta scene to happen in the first place.
できることはするでもねデルタ僕はサンタさんじゃないから何でもは聞けないよ
サンタさん
そうさひどいやつなんだ僕も昔ひどい目にあった影の実力者にいや予想
It's interesting to me how Delta is one of the few people he ever gets close to having a real conversation with. I mean, yes, he makes Santa a villain, which is funny, but also reveals parts of his old life.
ボスの夢を裏切ったの
あれ
あれ
話が繋がらないね
繋がらないね
I know I already winged it, but yeah, go on, take one more for that absolutely adorable exchange between them and from her specifically.
あ
Well now, that was an unexpected plot twist at the end there. I wonder what that was. You want to give me a new shot of the city looking great? You clearly want to win, which I'll give you.
3枚女の子の分にしてさ1枚は僕もう1枚は俺最後の1枚は俺の曜日
How he snuck in that extra one for me comment. See win number 164 for details. You asked for it, anime. Also though, going without an OP this episode to allow for extra juicy medium rare content to be shown instead, and personally I'm a fan.
何かの意図があってグループデートという手段を使って我々を三つ星温泉ランドに誘っているわけね
Absolutely genius to have that finger perfectly on the comedy pulse and have her cut herself off, and they even stop the music before she continues speaking, now saying we instead.
いいたあなたが設計したんでしょ竜の涙の伝承をモチーフとしパンフレットに書かれたことをそのまま読むのはやめなさいお待ちください人選は表社会への適応率も考慮するべきでは土地勘のあるものに回す
All the ladies getting really aggressive because they want to be one of the three to go to the hot springs.
行くわよ七影じゃんけんじゃんけんぽん
Plot twist. There's me thinking they're gonna fight, and then they go and do this. It's the getting changed scene. If you love this channel and you saw this anime, you knew this was getting one, didn't you? The girls are playing volleyball. I can sense this episode might get some wins for things I can't outright show all the time, but they do exist and therefore will still be wins. Well, I'm going to go ahead and drop the video's first 2 max wins, that is unless you're in the future watching a compilation of course, for all of the fantastic images of swimsuits looking fine as hell. Hot springs scene that I can't really show just in case because YouTube is silly. It really wouldn't be a proper Hot Springs episode if we didn't get something like this happen. They're going hard in this episode, aren't they? Now she's all tied up and they're going to do something to cause tears and it's a whole thing really.
行くわよみんなあれ 色
This episode out here scoring the majority of its wins purely for visuals to do with the girls, I swear. They do look great though, and this is everything great about after all.
私だって頑張ってるもん一番取るのいつも大変なんだもん
That was an unexpectedly wholesome end to this scene, I must admit. Also, take one here for the ED. Normally I give a single win, and that's it, but this one featured all the girls, so it definitely needed its own standalone win, just very likely couldn't show it. That's one of those shots where it legit looks so good I literally show it and then talk over it, rather than simply talking over it. Breathe it in! Looking like they put actual writing onto this newspaper and not just scribbles.
お前それ私の人のものを勝手に食べちゃダメっておばあちゃんに習わなかったのかよ
Rico from Made in Abyss.
だからどうした
I love seeing the difference in their power when merely pushing herself into the air causes this much damage to the area.
6番ちゃん旋風のハワード逆風のアルファド
You'd think the win would be for how good she looks, but honestly, while she does look good, her armor just looks sick as anything here. I really like that.
最初へ派遣していた調査班が交戦状態に突入しました
Hands down, this anime has some pound for pound best looking city scenery shots I've ever seen.
派閥争い戦争それはロマンだそこには影の実力者としてかっこよく介入できるポイントが必ずあるに違いない
I don't think I'll ever tire of hearing a very grave sounding situation and then him popping in, just being like, I wonder where I can insert myself so I can sound really, really cool.
いけるこれは美味しい
はいはい今おかわりを用意しますね
そうと決まれば早速準備を
Also funny is how often he just thinks out loud in between serious bouts of thinking and people just react to it like here. Oh god. That's so over the top, but he absolutely loves doing it.
だからきっと助けてもらえたんですあの人に君にも助けられちゃったね
Ah, that was her. That's a nice little twist I didn't expect. Didn't think I'd ever see her again. Nicely done.
青ローズ誕生の足がかりをつかむためにいろいろやってみたわけだけどまずは収容所に潜り込んで前から一度やってみたかった囚人生活を堪能しつつ
He's just like living the ideal life of an OP god or something. Whatever takes his fancy, he goes and gives it a try.
なんだてめえ
欲しいものは殺してでも奪い取るいいよね無法都市ルール
That was so damn awesome. One moment they're all chatting, suddenly he's talking to himself, and in a split second, Sid has taken them both out and is just helping himself to their stolen goods.
これお金いいよね見守っていてくれたんだシャドウさん
This for me personally is where he's at his best. He didn't have to save her in the Lawless City. He didn't have to take those guys out knowing they may come for her, and now he's given cash.
救ってくださるのですね
People in my comments have sometimes made him out to be totally selfish, but I do think from time to time he shows how much he does care for these girls and others, like in the last win. I'm not 100% sure why he's losing it, but the effects and the voice acting definitely score it a win regardless. Is it because he put a lot of thought into something that now is screwed up?
僕の影の実力者プレイをはかどらせるためには彼女が王になることが必要なんだ
Ah, yeah, I was right, but obviously they can still keep the previous win, as it was for something else anyway.
ラムダお前たちか君まで来たということは増援はこれで全部なの
A lot of these women are just so damn good looking, it's not even funny, bruh. There's so many of them as well. They just keep on doing it, baby!
スライム率 99%重心の移動に合わせて常に微細な魔力操作を繰り返している
The fact that he's more than aware of what she's doing, using slime to cover parts of her body to look more attractive, and clearly thinks nothing of it, makes it even more funny. Beautiful visuals, but also it's a gorgeous song in and of itself. In fact, wasn't that the song he played during the very first episode?
舞台へ上がるのはしかるべき時しかるべき場所で、その時は世界
新たな伝説の始まりにふさわしい舞台を整えるためならぜひ私
Okay, that was completely sick. Whilst they're all busy nattering in the background, man, he's fancy with them wires, isn't he?
いや僕は一人で
シラン様のお弟子様をお一人にするわけにはいきません。
いや僕は一人
私メイドのマーガレットと申します。
I have no clue why, but jokes like that just really tickle me. They really do.
おっとあんたいい加減にしなさい。
スライム率 0% か
It's too much. I can't believe he went there.
シロン様は可愛いお弟子様を独り占めしたいだけです。心配しないで全部私に委ねてくださいね。少しだけなら。
引いたと思ったら一気に近づいて共感したり、ついでに弱
Not just once, but he does it twice. It looks so funny to me.
みを晒したり。これあれだ。さすが先輩のメイド。勧誘の手口がそっくりだ。
Now he's walking away all sneaky with his hands up like this.
てめえらいいゴミ分だよなあ。
すいません。
ヘラヘラしてねえでかかってこいよおら。自慢の音楽で野蛮な負けん倒してみろよ。
すいません。
情けねえ。足震えてんじゃねえか。何が音楽家だ、芸術なんてクソだ。
すいません。
I don't know what the hell they've done this episode, but they've totally dialed the comedy up to 11 and it shows. Goodness me, man.
めて小走りに去っていっちまうんだ。可愛いだろ。だが俺たちにはそれで十分なんだ。
They're genuinely spitting out comedy equal to the kind of stuff we get in anime like Konosuba with this.
周囲からは否定され、誰からも理解されず、孤独だったはずだ。でも先輩は自分の生き方を貫いた。
Literally showing this because of that piece of music, and it turns out I'm right, it is done by the same dude who did ReZero. My god, I hope he returns to score the third season of that.
私はシロ君の夢を理解します。
Ah! He keeps casually eating biscuits in between the serious scenes. The little crunching sounds.
触らないでいただけます。
その態度は良くない。レイナ王妃の命はお前の態度次第だということを忘れるな。
なるほどね。これはプラン B に移るしかないかな。
Oh, how is he so very, very casual about everything? It makes for such an interesting contrast between the scene that came just before it and then his reaction. Makes me think everything will be okay. It's only very brief, but I like seeing a large map of where they are. Plus, pretty cool seeing the units from both sides. Makes me think of like Fire Emblem games.
進捗はどうだ？ド M ケツハット。
This dude being in this anime, or any anime for that matter, will never not get a win. One of my favourite voice actors in anime and of course in video games like the Trail series. That's one of the coolest locations in the entire thing.
けどあいつに決まってますから。
そうなんだ。
私お弟子様のために頑張りました。
His face. Because he's so far unable to free his hand like last time.
お弟子様のことは私がしっかりサポートしますので、はっきり言わないとわからないかしら。貴族は暴力を嫌い、芸術を愛す。それがオリアナ王国の歴史。
That gets a win, but I'll avoid directly showing it because, let's face it, YouTube can be really weird. But yeah, he managed to get out of their grasp, put his clothing on that, play the piano and get back here.
まだ私たちの愛は認められないの？
もう少し待ってくれ、ハニー。
Ah, now that's a good old-fashioned plot twist. I figured end of episode 10, she was some woman he was sleeping with. Didn't know it was her. Take that win.
異世界ファンタジーじゃなくて昼ドラになってる。夕方6時台に軌道修正しないと。
I know I've winged it before, but his lackadaisical attitude to very real problems is always so damn funny. He's even commenting that he'd rather things be less soap opera and more dark.
殺すのですか？私はあなたの恩を仇で返すようなことをしてしまった。
Nice little bit of avoiding exposition right there, as she forms a weapon to defend herself with, or attack him, only to very quickly get rid of it, accepting her fate. A very real and dark reaction to seeing the truth about her mother and so-called fiancé.
反逆の刃を解き放ち。まあ、なんか、ごめん。
One of those rare few times where he's kind of like, damn, I went too far there and now I feel a little bit bad.
決戦は3日後結婚式獅子が覚醒する
Setting up the next big event of the story quite nicely there, I must say. I liked how that was done. I can't even imagine the time and effort that went into building a scene like that.
だが過程はどうあれ結果は上々。これで私もラウンズだ。これで私もラウンズだ。ラウンズだ。待て待て待てちょっと待って
They built up that scene, but it was still way better than I thought it'd be, and the normal very serious voice actor pulled it off beautifully as well, I think. It was an unexpected treat to see him still searching all over the place.
あなたは私の父であるオリアナ国王を操り王妃を汚し国家の転覆を企てた
I must say, it's really good to see her taking charge like this and finally laying everything out in the open. I did feel like this would be the ideal time in my gut, and here we are.
あの方にいただいたこの指輪に誓って
That whole scene right there was nothing but purely aesthetically pleasing to my eyes.
ローズ、お前に王国の未来を託す。愛している。
What a fantastic way to do that moment. That was really powerful. Like, his speech was legit great. I loved how he said sorry to his past father for putting his kingdom through this too. Such a nice touch.
ローズ・オリアナがあなたを断罪します
So damn awesome that was! Let's just say, he got denogonized, and then she lost her head in fury after. Wow.
無能な味方は敵よりも厄介だ。そう思わんか？オリアナの新たな王よ。
Amazing plot twist that he's here now. Also, he's clearly very tough taking those two out without even moving, or at least the mother anyway.
かつてベガルタ帝国10万の兵を一夜にして滅ぼした黒きバラ。
Visually, that is so awesome! How that was done, goodness me!
ラグナロクよ!
This is great as a setup for the final episode, plus the destruction effects. Whilst they couldn't be seen incredibly well, they did look good from what I could see. Plot twist ending too. Sid is just insane, really. He's so strong he played a key and immediately lopped the arm off the thing. Damn, man.
空に咲くバラ、燃えるコウモリ、血を殴光の帯。だが醜いな。
Sid basically rambling off cool sounding nonsense as always, but mainly going without an OP this episode. Adding a new level of interest to this battle because the enemy can heal itself. Sid genuinely enjoying himself here taking on a powerful foe, or what he hopes will be one for a change. Also the music being so very ReZero-ish, I love it.
身の程を知れと言ったぞ。
見えない斬撃
These girls going up against their own strong foe, plus those effects from the sword strike were great.
さもないと少し痛い目を見てもらうことになるわよ。
They've pulled out all the stops in the final episode as far as effects go, clearly not CGI other than the bits floating in the scene, which is only natural.
さすが異世界。コウモリもスケールがでかい。大災害。
Like I've said before, him sounding totally casual during a heated battle won't ever not score a win.
それは我々が自ら血を流してこそ示せるものでしょう今は行動を
Showing this as both the internal and external set designs as far as damage go look absolutely incredible.
貴様らごとき一瞬で。
ずいぶん遠そうな一瞬だこと。
That was such a brutal put down to him saying he can use the beast to wipe them out in but an instant.
それが竜の衰退につながった。
ちょうど1000万年ほど前か。あるいは我ら人間種もまた魔力や魔物のように別々の世界から来た生物なのではないか。
At first I figured they were kinda going down the road of multiple realms to explain away this beast and magic and stuff, but it's actually far more interesting. This anime remains near or at the very top of the pound for pound list of gorgeous looking scenery shots of cities. I mean, look at that! This entire lore drop can also get a win, especially for the giant Dobby looking creature? Not sure if that's how you spell it, I read the Harry Potter books 20 plus years ago. That was creepy anyway. Sid destroying the creature, potentially, but looking so damn cool whilst he does it.
挙句エフェクトは使い回しか。
Him totally treating this like it's the end stage of a JRPG, and I cannot express how much I enjoy that, and those games too.
君にはデルタ以下の称号を与えよう。
Kai is so strong it's unreal, and even with a final transformation, he's still not as strong as Delta.
臨界とか指数とか関数がなんとかで連鎖的になんやかんや。
Something tells me he doesn't quite understand how the science works.
この場所を見て感じて改めて自分のなすべきものが見えた。だからこれで遊びは終わりだ。I'm Atomic。は？
I friggin' love it. The only way to make the move even more badass is, of course, to do it in space. That was fantastic, and it grabs itself 2 max wins. Oh, damn! Now that was a good plot twist, because it certainly seemed like he didn't even know what it was either. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Is that what I think it is? He's come back to Japan and it's wrecked! Wow! This is getting 2 max wins already, I'm so hyped!
一人になるなんていつ以来だろう。
This is unreal to see her for the first time in so long. Japan is largely destroyed, greenery is growing over everything, and she remembers that night with Sid. I'm blown away!
茜だな。
I'm so confused, I need help, what's going on? What an entrance, and it's even better than the first time he did it in episode 1. I'm still so confused though. You can't give me such clean looking animation with tons of frames and then also great looking damage effects and not expect to get max wins. Darth Weirdo, Matthew Blancett, Mao Liao, The Elemental Awards, Christopher Willis, Draki, Fancy Turtle, Kepan, Minimasher, Marquez, Orkeeper, Steelers, The Epic Commander, Birds Without a Word, Brandon Creer, Brian Bayot, Cameron, Christopher Tawasa, Commander Cyrus, Doggos for Life, Dragonstorm 35, Emmanuel Gonzalez, Aaron Winters, Guru, I Am Here, Your Edvinson, Kevin Alston, Cumfroik, Carly Welp, Lisa Marie Tim, Luis Minito, Magnus, Nathan Burr, Nightly Winter, Peter Milligan, Ruby Rose, Sataka Yari, Zyonx 44, Sean, The 100s, Tiger Lily Warrior, Subito, Wiccan Faye, Ali 50, Brainless Ben, Cecilia, Cedric, Cloud Garden, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Devon, Iso, Garrett Vermish, Gibbs, Isel Caldera, Jason Davies, John, Jafford 6263, Calnock, Kevin Nelter, Kevink 102, Knuckle Duster, Chris Madden, KY158, Carl Jones, Laxor, Laxus, Liam Gogati, Lifty, Lionel Schultz, Marvin, Malcarius, Michael Lewis, Modiverum, Mudini, Mr. Firecool, Natsu Dragneel, Nick Monaco, Nick Pell, 9028, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Q Flash, Ryan DeVirus, Sentimento, Storm 970, TRS, The Danish Muggle, Tricky Nicky, Willyman.